Hello, good afternoon. Michael Wynn, Chief Digital Officer of Digital Ops, a division of RB Oppenheim Associates. Hey guys, welcome to the Digital Marketing Podcast and video series where we talk about digital marketing strategies to help grow your business. Today we're going to talk about crafting irresistible content, secret sources to find sticky words and killer copy. So what is the secret? What is the key to really crafting irresistible content? Well, first of all, you really have to connect with your audience. That is absolutely the number one thing. You've got to literally get in the moment. And I think when you can get in the moment and place yourself in the place where your consumer, where your potential customers are, you're in the right place. And what's fascinating to me is the internet is full of deep resources to find super sticky words and killer copy, and even used by your own target audience themselves. So imagine this. Imagine if you could hear the thoughts inside the head of your audience about how they feel about your product or your the service that you offer. Wouldn't that be amazing? Like if you could know their thoughts, you could totally have the best words ever because they're literally thinking it. I mean, we say things all the time like, "Oh my gosh, they read my mail." What if you could really listen to the complaints from firsthand users of products and services of your competitor or your own, or from somebody who's in your industry that, really is maybe a few steps above you in terms of how much how much you sell, or the service area that, maybe they're a national brand and you're kind of a local brand. Imagine if you could listen to the complaints from firsthand users. Or what if you could learn how potential customers describe what you sell? Like, what are the words that they use when they try to describe what it is that you do or what your product actually is? Because I think that's fascinating. I think so many times when you ask someone about a product or service and they have no idea what it is, or if they're trying to describe, it's almost like, the thingamajig. We use words because we can't really describe it. We don't quite know how to describe it. Imagine if you knew what those words were. What about this? What if you could get a list of all the pros and cons that your potential customers are using as they go through the decision tree as to how they're going to think about or who they're going to select when it comes to their product or service, right? What if you could get that list of pros and cons? Here's the good things, here's the bad things, here's the things I like, here's the things I don't like. What if you could get that list? So if you had that list, you would literally have the absolute words, you would have the phrases, the language, the vernacular, right, of what your target audience, how they verbalize it, how they think about it. What if you could have that? Well, I'm going to give you guys a huge secret that most agencies and marketers don't want you to know. But I'm going to give it to you anyway. You guys are loyal fans, loyal listeners, and I think this could really help you think about how to reach your target audience, how to really come up with sticky words to use in your social media posts, to use in your landing pages, to use in your email marketing pieces. This is some great sources. So number one, this is one that you're probably not going to have thought about, and that is Reddit. So you might be saying, Michael, Reddit, what is that? So if you're not familiar with Reddit, welcome to the internet. Reddit is probably the largest online community conversation about everything under the sun, but it's grouped together in subreddits where you have entire communities. You can have tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people who are, very passionate about specific topics, and they just go through and share. They share questions, they share experiences. I mean, it's a whole, A to Z discussion about different topics and interest related to these very specific groups. So, you could be an investor, or you could be an entrepreneur, or you could be a hairstylist, or you could be a teacher, or whatever. There is probably a subreddit group that is having discussions about what's happening right now. And what's great is it's completely unfiltered. Like, people just get on there and they just say what they want to say. Like, it's totally just, it's fantastic. It's unfiltered. And so Reddit, being able to go in there and, search for your industry, right? And then do that. And then there's a little drop down where you can see like the most popular, or like the highest rated, or the most liked when it comes to these specific things. And when you click on there, you can literally see words of hundreds of people who've responded to those specific either questions or, subject lines, if you will. And inside of that, there are literally phrases about, how people think about, when it comes to that particular topic or genre or, subject matter area. So Reddit is a fantastic resource. Highly recommend that. Amazing insight. I mean, used to be in the days before the internet, you would literally pay tens of thousands of dollars to have access to the kind of insight that is readily available to you for free on Reddit, if you know how to search and where to go and how to just observe and listen to the feedback and the comments to Reddit users in your subject matter. Number two, this is another kind of obscure area that people don't really think about a lot, but Amazon reviews. Yeah, so I mean, think about Amazon reviews. You get a list of 5 stars versus 1 star, right? So remember how I was talking about, imagine if you could have the list of like the pros and the cons, things you like, things that you don't like. Boom, right there, Amazon reviews, you've got it. It's already there. And, you can sort. You can I want to read all the bad reviews. I want to read all the good reviews. And so, it could be like, and again, you got to kind of think outside the box here. So maybe you offer a service that there's maybe not a direct product of, but maybe there's a book about something. It could be a bestseller, or it could be a product related to, the thing that you're about to do, or maybe it's about the kind of business that you offer. Like maybe you have a cleaning service, and so you're going on and you're reading about cleaning products, and you're reading about how people think about, what's the most popular cleaning product out there, and you find out what it is, and you find out why people liked it, and then you turn around and reverse engineer that and use that to write and come up with really sticky words and killer copy to use in your Facebook post, your social media post, your Instagram post, your YouTube video, etc. What about, think about this, Twitter, Facebook, Yelp, and Google reviews. So on Twitter, you really don't have reviews for a business, but you definitely have comments to, complaints, if you will. I mean, obviously that, Facebook reviews for businesses, being able to read those reviews, that does give you, remember how I said, what if you could listen to complaints of firsthand users from customers, whether it was your customers, your competitor customers, or from people who are in your industry, maybe again, like maybe they're a national product, or maybe they're in another state, but they do the same thing that you do. Going to their Facebook page and reading their Facebook reviews of their business. Imagine what kind of insight you might be able to glean from those reviews. I think as well, Yelp reviews, I mean, those are incredible. People are brutally honest about what their experience was. And so, creating and coming up with sticky words and killer copy straight from the words of people who have, literally, like they're giving you the playbook. It's right there. They've used the words right on their review. And you could go, location by location by location on Yelp, or you could go to Google, do a Google search for that business, look for the reviews, and go read them, right? It's there. It's all there. It's all public access. Again, I think about the days when you used to have to spend thousands of dollars to have a focus group to find out what is the public's perception about your industry or brand, or for you. And now it's all available because the internet. What about, here's another source that you may not have heard of before, but it is also a great resource. This website is called producthunt.com. So producthunt.com is that website where people go in and say, I'm looking for the big round thingamajig, right? They have no idea what this thing is called, but they are trying their best to come up with a description. And the thing that's interesting is usually Product Hunt, again, it's community source driven. So people try to describe it. I mean, you could almost like make a drinking game out of it, where you could go on there and like put in the, read the thing out loud and then read the responses out. And like, I don't know. To me, it's incredibly funny, but at the same time, it's amazing resource for insight into how do potential customers describe your product or service when they don't know exactly what it's called. So again, if you go to producthunt.com and you can ask that community, hey, what's this thing called? I know it's a thingamajig with a circular twist at the top. That's a great place to go. And then Quora, Quora.com is a great question query. Millions of users, daily questions. And the fact that they're rated by the community and going to the top there, again, you can reverse engineer based on a keyword search, and the keyword is related to the products or services that you offer. You're able to go in there, do a search, see how people are responding to or not responding to identify these sticky words to create and craft irresistible content for your digital marketing efforts. So again, this whole concept, I think, is fascinating in that you really need to get in the moment, and to get in the moment of what potential customers and clients of yours are thinking and feeling, and being able to articulate in words that they will connect with. Use their own words. There's no better way to connect with people than to use their own words with them. I mean, as a communicator, I remember being taught at a very early age, if you want to communicate to someone that you're listening to them, right after they're listening, when they say something to you, repeat it back to them. Like, what I hear you saying is this, and then you repeat right back to them what they said. It's the same idea with, really crafting irresistible content. When you're able to speak back to them in your, using their words. And I think sometimes as marketers, we get so caught up in using these fluffy, fancy, stylish words, and they don't connect. They don't resonate with the end user or the consumer on the other end, because they're just not written in the language that they speak and how they talk about the product or service that you would like for them to consider when it comes to making their final decision. Guys, I hope this episode has been really helpful. Again, just to recap kind of these 5 areas where you can go to find great sources, these secret sources for finding sticky words for writing killer copy. Number 1 is go to Reddit, check out the subreddit communities based on your topic search. Number 2, look for Amazon reviews of products or services that are related to your product or service or industry. Number 3, check out social media, whether it's Twitter complaints or Facebook reviews or Yelp reviews or Google reviews. Find out, get the list of the pros and cons, the things that the likes, the dislikes, that the audience, that the market is really communicating through these channels. Number 4, producthunt.com. Find out how people are trying to describe your product when they don't know exactly what it's called. And then number 5, Quora, a great question query-based social platform. Guys, thanks for tuning in today. My name is Michael Wynn. I'm the Chief Digital Officer of Digital Ops, Division of RB Oppenheim Associates. Thanks for joining in. Hope you'll join me tomorrow. Have a great day.